If your knowledge of history feels solid, think again. History is often written by the victors, and the narratives we accept as truth can sometimes be misleading or incomplete. The story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas is one such narrative that demands closer scrutiny. We're about to shake things up. The commonly accepted figures regarding the death toll of indigenous peoples following European contact have been a subject of intense debate among historians and researchers for decades. The genocide of indigenous peoples in the Americas following European contact is one of history's darkest chapters. The arrival of Europeans marked the beginning of a catastrophic period for the native populations characterized by violence, disease and displacement. But were the death toll figures possibly inflated, or do they reflect a harsh reality? This question is at the heart of a contentious debate. Some argue that the numbers were exaggerated to emphasize the tragedy and garner sympathy, while others believe they accurately reflect the devastating impact of European colonization. Estimates of pre-Columbian indigenous populations vary widely. The lack of consistent and reliable records from that era makes it challenging to determine exact numbers. Some scholars suggest up to 100 million people lived in the Americas before European arrival. This figure, however, is not universally accepted and is subject to ongoing research and debate. These numbers are debated due to limited historical records. The methodologies used to estimate these populations vary, and the assumptions made by researchers can lead to significantly different conclusions. One major cause of death was diseases brought by Europeans, such as smallpox, which decimated populations. Indigenous peoples had no immunity to these foreign diseases, leading to widespread and catastrophic outbreaks. Violence and displacement also played significant roles. The arrival of Europeans often led to violent conflicts, forced relocations, and the destruction of indigenous ways of life. Historical records and archaeological evidence have sparked debates on the actual scale of these deaths. Some researchers argue that the death tolls have been inflated, while others believe they may even be underestimated. Some argue that numbers were exaggerated to emphasize the tragedy. This perspective suggests that higher death tolls were used to highlight the severity of the genocide and to ensure that the suffering of indigenous peoples was not overlooked. Others believe they reflect the true impact. This view holds that the figures, while shocking, are a necessary acknowledgement of the immense suffering and loss experienced by indigenous communities. Today, historians and researchers continue to analyze evidence to provide a clearer picture. Advances in technology and methodology are helping to uncover new information and refine our understanding of this tragic period. They acknowledge both the immense suffering and the complexities in estimating death tolls. The task of accurately counting the dead is fraught with challenges, but it is essential for honoring the memory of those who were lost. The debate over the numbers highlights the need for ongoing research. As new evidence comes to light, our understanding of the past continues to evolve. To honor the true extent of indigenous suffering and history, we must keep digging for the truth. This means not only examining historical records, but also listening to the voices of indigenous peoples today who continue to share their stories and preserve their heritage. The journey to uncover the truth is a long and complex one, but it is a journey worth taking. By striving for a more accurate understanding of history, we can ensure that the experiences of indigenous peoples are recognized and respected. In the end, the goal is not just to count the dead, but to understand the full impact of colonization on indigenous cultures and communities. This understanding can help us build a more just and equitable future for all. So, as we continue to explore this dark chapter of history, let us do so with a commitment to truth, justice and reconciliation. Only then can we truly honor the memory of those who suffered and ensure that such tragedies are never repeated. The story of the indigenous peoples of the Americas is a testament to their resilience and strength. Despite the immense challenges they faced, their cultures and traditions have endured and continue to thrive today. As we reflect on this history, let us also celebrate the rich and diverse heritage of indigenous peoples. Their contributions to our world are invaluable, and their stories deserve to be told with accuracy and respect. In the quest for historical truth, every piece of evidence, every story, and every voice matters. Together, we can build a more complete and honest narrative of our shared past. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop seeking the truth.